Hi guys, welcome to the TS3 talk. My name is Julian Schori. I am project counselor at TS3. Today already the 8th episode. With me at the black table, Ivan Tuchmann. Ivan is a structural engineer at TS3. And today's topic is from concrete to timber. Ivan, welcome.
Thank you, Julian. I'm glad to be here.
Ivan, why are you at TS3?
Good question. Well, as you can tell from the title of the interview today, I'm a civil engineer. My bachelor studies were in civil engineering. I work a lot with concrete, a little bit with steel. And then when I moved to Switzerland, I was checking for options, what to do. And then I did a master degree at the Fachhochschule in Biel on timber engineering. And then it's when everything started. Then I applied for a job here in TS3, and then I got it. So 2-3 years ago.
All right. And since then you work as an engineer?
Yeah, that's correct.
How many projects so far on your desk?
I don't know. I mean, the way we work is we just receive projects and we do like pre-dimensioning. I mean, build projects, been some, but every day there's something coming in every day.
Yeah. So we speak English together?
Yeah.
Because you are originally from
Mexico, and actually I ask not to do it in German because now it would be too slow and too basic, I think, language-wise.
Well, I'm from Bern. You cannot be as slow as I am, but
yeah,
anyway.
I've heard that.
We adapt very much to our guests and their special requests. Unfortunately, I'm absolutely not. Yo no hablo español, so that's the other. Yeah, probably I got that one right.
That's good. Yeah,
that's good.
That's right.
Okay. Well, it's nevertheless quite a story. So why timber construction?
It's again when I moved to Switzerland during COVID time, actually 2020.
Yeah.
I was checking, what could I do, like study-wise, like professionally, and then I checking online. I got to this Fachhochschule. It's like the technical school in Biel, and I found this project. It's actually called complex timber structure. The title is quite.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me it was interesting because, back home, I think generally all over the world, timber is not seen like a construction material per se. It's more concrete steel. So for me it was interesting to, dive in the building with timber actually, like the whole structure. And also, to be honest, the language was something good. The program was offered in English.
Yeah.
So it was also.
As concrete would have been in German, or worse.
To be honest, I did not check for anything in concrete. It was just.
Let's do something new.
yeah. That is also nice, to expand the knowledge and the professional horizon, if you want.
How far was it out your comfort zone?
Quite far. I mean, not only back then it was for everybody. Now again, the courses were taking place during COVID, a little bit in between COVID. So that part was challenging. I was quite new in the country, so all these things that come with the moving. And from the content-wise, for me, it was completely new. All the design rules, the SEI, the norms, construction codes, and also all the verifications for timber were for me new. So
Okay.
it was the learning curve was quite steep, I would say, at the beginning.
So what's the difference between the codes in Switzerland to the codes in Mexico?
I mean, the thing is, at the end, the core is quite similar, no? The verifications are similar if you compare concrete or steel. When it comes to timber, the design part is, it's totally different.
Yeah.
We have timber codes in Mexico, but I think it's a few pages and it's quite general. Again, I was never really into that because I've never worked with timber there. But the difference is huge. Yeah. Content-wise is many times more than the codes in Mexico.
What was the big learning for you?
Well, first of all, to begin to understand how timber works as construction material. That's the first part, to really understand what happens in any timber element. That's the first part, because in concrete you already know. I already knew it, and steel it's also the same, but timber was completely different.
What do you like most about timber construction?
I mean, I like it as material that you have a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
I mean, it's timber, it's one thing, like, I mean, the material, wood material, but engineer timber products, there are many different CLT, glulam, LVL, so you have different uses of the same raw material. Mm-hmm. So it's quite flexible in how to use it.
What do you hate with the timber construction?
What I don't like about timber construction?
Yes.
I wouldn't say I hate, but I find more complex to design, like the connections. Connections are can get tricky and kind of time consuming to design.
Yeah.
That part is, in concrete usually connections are way simpler. It's just through the steel reinforcement, but in timber you have to really pay attention to the detailing.
By the screws.
The detailing, it's more complicated, I would say.
Okay.
That part is.
How did you come up with how come that you came to TS3? This here is timber construction, but it's one in a kind, and it is one kind of timber construction.
To be honest, I just attended to this job fair at Biel, at the school, and there were different companies there, like advertising themselves, and it's not very interesting of fantasy story, but it just applied to it. I found it really interesting that it's innovative company. Mm-hmm. Also back then they had this sample building in the courtyard of the school, with CLT, glued CLT, and I found it really cool that it was just glued plates, and they were standing there for 2-3 years, I think. And then in this fair, I just saw TS3 are the ones that build that thing, and they are really into this innovation, blah blah blah. Maybe not the blah blah blah. They are in the innovation, in this mindset of developing and innovating within the industry, and that I found it quite interesting. And then it's when I applied.
All right.
Yeah. It was always looking, within the branch, but still looking for innovation, which, to be honest, is also something common here in Switzerland. The companies try to always go, but this was something even more.
And we're very grateful you did it, because you do a very important job. Could you describe a bit what your daily routine is?
Yeah, I mean, usually how it works, we receive projects from architects or even carpenters or Holzbauer. We get the projects and then we analyze it. The challenging part is, again, what we offer is a solution. It's a bonded CLT slab. So usually you get the project, you try to see, okay, I have this problem, I have this many options to solve. In our case, is a little bit different, because we have to find a way in which our product is the best compared to the other solutions. Yeah. So that can be sometimes challenging, because you really have to emphasize the benefits of switching to our technology in comparison to so-called traditional timber construction, which is beams and so on. So it's project by project. Some projects really, it's hard to really offer a better option than traditional construction, but in many cases it is possible. And architects, for example, they love the flexibility that you can offer by building simple flat slabs with columns. So that's a good point for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Between you and me and the listeners, what are the projects that you say, yeah, well, this is routine, but not one of those again,
That
please.
make me really happy when I see them coming.
Yeah.
This kind of buildings, usually like the traditional houses, for example, in the mountains with this inclined roof, yeah, the chalet. That for me, it's, man, I just see one coming and man, not really motivated.
So the heart is not singing, but why?
I mean, for me, it's still all the thing with the roofs and that, and usually they just ask you, okay, I want this slab. But in order to get the slab, you also have to solve the problem with the roof. Yeah. The loads from the roof, how are they going? And that for me, it's for sure more time consuming that traditional, multi-family houses or office buildings. Yeah. That part, those kind of buildings for me are like...
It's an efficiency topic.
Yeah.
Or also a small building and long hours.
Yeah, I would say that.
And which projects you say, yes, finally, good?
I have to say, for example, regular office buildings with a regular column grid, they are good. I mean, but they are not that exciting, no?
Yeah.
I find these multi-family houses, when they have different layouts, one story compared to the next, or different geometries, that I find nice. Where you can really play with, okay, I take this wall out, I just put a column somewhere here. Yeah. I think you have more chances to play around. With an office building, usually you have the column grid and that's it. You don't get to play much with it.
So you like to develop a bit the project and not work according to,
I mean, it's always more interesting when you see something. I wouldn't say that office buildings are not challenging, but if you see something that it tells you, okay, use your brain and find a solution, that's obviously more exciting than a regular building.
What is the most rewarding part of your job?
The most, I would say, of course, when I get the news that we got the project.
Yeah, sure. Same here.
Yeah, we are in the same boat. Yeah, that part, but when a challenging project comes, or when I see, sometimes we get projects which already had a solution, a proposal from the engineer, and when we compare what we offer compared to the original, and you see, man, it's a huge difference what we offer. That it feels good to see. Originally, they just plan a lot of beams somewhere here, their walls, and we just come with a cleaner solution. That's nice.
So, as a structural engineer that now knows both materials, the materials that they use the most might see. I think steel, a bit less, but concrete and timber. What do you say to a concrete engineer in regards of TS3?
Don't be afraid. I mean, the thing is, we get a lot of questions for concrete engineers, I would call it, like traditional engineers who work with timber, with concrete. Yeah, they are very skeptical, not only for TS3, but timber building in general. It's a common question, like, hey, does it really hold? Or like, it's a timber building, so what, you put timber on top of the concrete slab? And no, it's not. So I will tell them, to open their mind, or be more open to the reality. The timber, it is a structural material. It's not like that together with other thing. It could work itself as an structural material. And TS3, the slabs, they come and say, then you put the concrete layer on top, so you do like a Holz, Beton, Verbunddeck. But no, it's just a slab, timber slab. That works.
And now you meet up with your former commilitons, your colleagues from a master class, all now master in timber construction, timber engineering. What do you tell those timber engineers?
To be honest, we don't meet. We never meet.
You never meet.
We don't talk to each other really. I mean, don't put that, but we studied during COVID, so pretty much everybody does their own shit. But I mean, and sometimes from now on. Yeah, I mean, when we meet, it's just we discuss general topics. We don't meet that often, to be honest. For example, when there are some conference like this in Innsbruck, some of us we met, but it's just discussed in general. What are you doing? Yeah. To be honest, not many have encounters with TS3 yet. Yeah. But there is interest.
Why do you think this is?
Well, within the branch, there's also some pushback, right? Again, not only TS3, but the CLT. Some people are like, no, it's massive timber, it's too much timber for a slab. So there's within the industry still some pushback. Mm-hmm. So I think not everybody wants to build with CLT, but it's changing.
What's the biggest advantage in regards for a timber construction engineer to use TS3?
Well, the possibility to build with flat slabs. In CLT, you have cross layers, but with the TS3 slab, you can actually use both directions of the slab.
All right.
So you get rid of beams that are quite annoying sometimes, to have a room and in the middle you have a beam crossing. So yeah, that's the main advantage.
Ivan, what was your most memorable moment in TS3?
Oh man, most memorable moment.
Got you, huh?
Well, I would say this was, I don't remember which project it was, but I'm pretty sure it was Matthias who told me, hey man, you did this pre-dimensioning for that project and we got it. For me, I'm like, oh man, really? so nice. That was for me a nice moment. Also when, it sounds really silly, but when Sven told me that the property site was past the 3 months, that's for me nice. But now, the time when Matthias told me about the first project, I think that was really good.
Shivering, thrilling moment.
Yeah.
Sense of achievement.
Yeah.
Well,
totally.
Oh, a job well done. Cool. Already built or still in the pipeline?
Yeah, again, I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, it was years ago, I'm pretty sure. If not, man.
Yeah, it's all late. About feelings, even for an engineer. Good.
I know. It should be built already. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to share with us?
Well... No.
All right.
No, I'm really glad for the invitation and really had a great time here talking. And I hope the audience enjoyed as well.
Yeah, we hope that too. So this was again an episode at the TS3 talk and built with TS3.